In the heart of the sprawling city, where skyscrapers pierce the heavens and the relentless hum of urban life never ceases, there exists a narrow, forgotten alleyway. This unassuming passage, sandwiched between imposing structures that seem indifferent to the world below, holds secrets that time has long since swallowed. Within this secluded sanctuary prowls a solitary figure, a cat named Midnight. Midnight's fur is a deep, velvety black, absorbing the faint glimmers of light that dare to illuminate her nocturnal path. Her eyes, a striking emerald green, shimmer with depths that suggest stories untold and emotions unspoken. Every evening, as the sun relinquishes its reign and the city transforms under the silvery embrace of moonlight, Midnight embarks on her nightly wanderings. Her paws tread softly on the cobblestone streets, each step a silent testament to her resilience. The alleyway she calls home is a labyrinth of shadows and fleeting lights, a sanctuary where Midnight navigates the delicate balance between hope and despair. She moves with a grace that belies the weight of her sorrow, every movement echoing the silent lament of a heart burdened by loss. Midnight's journey through the city is a solitary one, marked by moments of reflection and encounters with the city's nocturnal inhabitants. She passes by dimly lit storefronts, their windows showcasing remnants of lives bustling by during the day. The scent of fresh rain lingers in the air, a reminder of the fleeting nature of time and the impermanence of existence. Once, Midnight was not a lone wanderer. She belonged to a family that filled her days with warmth and love. There was Emily, a little girl with laughter that could light up the darkest of nights, and her parents, whose gentle strokes and kind words made every day a tapestry of joy. Their home was a haven, a place where Midnight felt the unconditional love that only a family can provide. Emily and Midnight shared a bond that transcended the ordinary. They were companions in every sense, exploring the backyard together, chasing butterflies under the sun, and sharing secrets whispered beneath the stars. Midnight would curl up beside Emily on chilly evenings, their breaths synchronizing in a peaceful rhythm that spoke of trust and affection. The simplicity of their coexistence was a testament to the profound connections that can exist between humans and animals. But life, with its relentless tides, often brings change that is both inevitable and uninvited. Emily grew older, her world expanding beyond the confines of the backyard and the company of her feline friend. New friendships blossomed and new dreams took root, pulling her away from the simplicity of her childhood. The once vibrant home began to feel empty, the laughter that once echoed through its halls fading into silence. One fateful autumn day, as leaves painted the ground in hues of amber and gold, Emily's family decided to move to a new city. The decision was made with practicality, without consideration for the bonds left behind. The night before their departure, Midnight sat by the window, her emerald eyes fixed on the darkness beyond, sensing the impending separation. Emily, oblivious to her companion's turmoil, packed her belongings, her mind focused on the future. The morning was a whirlwind of activity, farewells spoken in haste, and promises whispered with tears. Midnight watched as Emily carried her suitcase, each step away from the home they once shared feeling like a stab to her silent heart. The door closed behind them, leaving Midnight in the cold embrace of an empty house, her world forever altered. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The absence of Emily left a void that no amount of wandering could fill. Midnight roamed the alleyways, searching for traces of the life that once was. She would pause at doorsteps, hoping to catch a glimpse of the little girl who once called her friend, but the streets offered no answers, only the indifferent glow of streetlights and the distant hum of the city. Winter's chill brought with it a harsh reality. Snow blanketed the city, muting sounds and turning the world into a monochromatic expanse. Midnight huddled beneath an old, broken-down car, seeking warmth that was perpetually out of reach. Her fur, once sleek and shiny, now bore the scars of the cold, each strand a testament to the battles she fought against loneliness and hunger. The nights grew longer, the darkness more oppressive, as Midnight grappled with the depth of her solitude. One particularly harsh night, as the winds howled and the city lay under a blanket of frost, Midnight found herself wandering farther from her usual haunts. The streets, cloaked in darkness, seemed endless, and the familiar alleyway was nowhere to be found. Her paws, numb from the cold, carried her through unfamiliar territories, driven by a desperate yearning to find something, anything, that could quell the ache in her heart. As she traversed the desolate streets, Midnight came across a park bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. The swings swayed gently in the breeze, creaking a melancholic tune that resonated with her own sorrow. She made her way to the old oak tree, a place that once echoed with Emily's laughter, now silent and still. Midnight climbed the familiar branches, seeking solace in the memories that lingered like ghosts in the night. Perched high above, Midnight gazed out over the cityscape, her eyes reflecting the myriad lights that twinkled like distant stars. She thought of Emily, their shared moments, the unspoken bond, and the life that had slipped away like sand through her paws. The pain was a tangible weight, pressing down on her chest, making each breath a laborious effort. The memories were both a comfort and a torment, a bittersweet reminder of what once was and what could never be again. In that moment of profound solitude, Midnight's thoughts wandered to the possibility of return, of a second chance to bridge the chasm that time had carved between them. She imagined Emily's face, older now, perhaps recognizing the silent plea in Midnight's emerald gaze. The hope was fragile, delicate as the first snowflake that fell on a winter's night, but it was a beacon that kept her moving forward, even in the darkest of times. As the seasons cycled, so did Midnight's journey. Spring brought with it a tentative thaw, both in the world around her and within her own heart. The snow melted, giving way to budding flowers and the promise of renewal. Midnight felt a subtle shift, a glimmer of hope that perhaps the story was not yet finished. One afternoon, as the sun cast golden rays through the canopy of trees in the park, Midnight heard a familiar sound. A child's laughter, echoing through the air like a sweet melody. Her heart raced as she followed the sound, her paws guiding her towards the source. There, amidst the blooming flowers, stood Emily. Time had not been kind, but it had not been unkind either. Emily, now a young woman with traces of her childhood innocence still lingering in her eyes, stood in the park, her gaze lifted to the sky. She was alone, her expression contemplative, perhaps searching for something she could not name. The passage of time had etched lines of experience and resilience on her face, but the core of her spirit remained as bright as ever. Midnight approached cautiously, her presence a silent whisper against the backdrop of blooming life. Emily turned, her eyes meeting Midnight's with a mix of surprise and recognition. In that instant, the years melted away, and the bond that once tied them together rekindled like a long-lost flame. Tears welled in Emily's eyes as she knelt down, extending a hand towards Midnight. "Midnight," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. "I've missed you so much." Midnight rubbed against Emily's hand, purring softly, the sound a soothing balm to both their souls. The weight of years apart seemed to lift, replaced by the warmth of rekindled love and the promise of new beginnings. They sat together beneath the old oak tree, sharing a moment of profound connection that transcended time and distance. As dusk settled, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Emily spoke of her journey, the challenges she faced, and the void left by Midnight's absence. Midnight listened, her emerald eyes reflecting understanding and empathy. They spoke without words, their hearts communicating in a language older than time, a dialogue of love, loss, and hope. From that day forward, Midnight was no longer a solitary wanderer. She found her way back into Emily's life, filling the spaces that had once echoed with loneliness. Together they navigated the complexities of the world, their bond stronger for the trials they had endured. Emily's home, once a place of fading memories, blossomed anew with laughter and shared moments, the presence of Midnight infusing it with warmth and life. But life, as ever, is a tapestry woven with threads of joy and sorrow. The reunion, while a beacon of hope, also carried the weight of the past. Memories lingered, shadows of what once was, reminding them both of the fragility of happiness. Midnight, with her silent sorrow, and Emily, with her longing heart, found solace in each other's presence, even as they grappled with the ghosts of yesterday. One stormy night, as rain lashed against the windows and thunder rumbled in the distance, Midnight sensed a change in the air. The familiar sense of home mingled with the sharp tang of impending loss. She felt an inexplicable pull, a tug towards a destiny she could not yet comprehend. The air was thick with the scent of rain and the electric charge of the storm, a prelude to the tumultuous events that were about to unfold. Emily, sensing Midnight's unease, wrapped her arms around the cat, offering comfort against the tempest outside and the turmoil within. "What's wrong, Midnight?" she whispered, her voice a fragile thread in the storm's roar. Midnight gazed into Emily's eyes, her emerald depths reflecting a sorrow that words could not capture. She knew, deep within her being, that their time together was fleeting. that the tapestry of their lives was destined to unravel once more. The inevitability of separation weighed heavily on her, a sorrowful truth that she could not escape. As the night deepened, Midnight made a decision. She would stay by Emily's side, offering companionship and love, even as the shadows of loss loomed large. They spent the night together, sharing warmth and memories, finding comfort in the presence that had been a lifeline for so long. The storm outside mirrored the tempest within, but their bond provided a sanctuary against the chaos. Dawn broke with a gentle light, casting away the remnants of the storm. Midnight, feeling the weight of her final moments with Emily, nuzzled the young woman one last time before slipping away into the morning mist. Her departure was silent, a whisper lost to the winds, leaving behind a heartbroken Emily and a home that once again felt empty. Yet even in death, Midnight's presence lingered. Emily felt her absence keenly, the silence a stark reminder of the bond they had shared. But amidst the grief, there was also gratitude for the love they had known, the memories they had created, and the hope that perhaps their souls would find each other again beyond the veil of life. Years passed, and the city continued its endless dance of light and shadow. Emily, now older, often found herself wandering to the old oak tree in the park, seeking solace beneath its branches. She would sit there, her heart aching for Midnight, yet comforted by the enduring love that time could not erase. The park had become a place of pilgrimage, a sanctuary where she could reconnect with the memories that defined her past. One twilight evening, as the first stars began to twinkle in the dusk sky, Emily felt a familiar warmth beside her. She turned to see a figure emerging from the shadows, a cat, her fur black as midnight, her emerald eyes shimmering with recognition. The sight was both a miracle and a testament to the enduring power of love. "Midnight," Emily whispered, tears of joy and sorrow mingling on her cheeks. Midnight approached, her presence a gentle reminder that love transcends the boundaries of life and death. They sat together beneath the old oak tree, the bond unbroken, their hearts forever entwined in a dance of eternal love and remembrance. As they sat in silence, the city around them continued its relentless pace, unaware of the profound connection that had been rekindled beneath its towering edifices. The old oak tree, a silent witness to their love story, stood as a testament to the resilience of the heart and the enduring nature of true companionship. In that moment, Emily realized that while life is impermanent, the bonds we forge can transcend even the most formidable barriers. Midnight's return was a beacon of hope, a symbol that love, in its purest form, is eternal and unyielding.